Hey guys, I'm Doug, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a simple roadmap on the ways to financial freedom and how I've started my journey and how you might be able to repeat it. Good luck. Hi, I'm Doug, and these are the steps to financial freedom. First step is understanding how much you make and how much you spend. Go through your bank account if you have one and highlight what you're spending every month and every week. Break it down, figure out what you're spending for food, housing, automotive, and luxury, fun stuff. Your extravagant expenses that could go to something else, or you could save them. The next step would be creating a savings of at least $1,000 to probably $6,000, depending on your living expenses. I recommend 3 to 6 months, just as a nice nest egg or safety net for you, just in case you do lose your job or you break your leg, you can't move, you can't work, tons of things. Have a nice safety net in place. Once you have that safety net and you've been saving and you've been building it and you figured out where you can save your money and not spend it on useless crap that's just going to cost you even more money, you should start investing. And rather putting that money into a savings account or your checking account, put that money to work. And the way you should do this, and I'm not a financial advisor, so do what you want with your money. This is what I've done with mine. I started a brokerage account and I bought into the S&P 500 through Vanguard's ETFs. Now, the SPY has really good ETFs, SPY, VOO is Vanguard's, VOOV is their growth ETF. I think these are all fantastic places to start and just dip your toes in it at first. Buy a couple shares here, a couple shares there, just so you can get a feel for the market. Understand how things fluctuate up, down, flat, all over the place. You never know. And get a sense of that, understand it, realize what's happening, and then add more and more and more over time. Dollar cost averaging in. Now, once you get used to investing into these ETFs, you can diversify a little more. And the next step would be buying individual stocks if you feel like that is something you would enjoy doing. If it's not, and you don't want to spend the time looking into these individual stocks, S&P, ETFs, buy one of those. You'll be fully diversified throughout the entire market for the most part, and you won't be hit with these big fluctuations if you're in a single stock and something happens. They have a down quarter, they have a down year. You won't be affected as much. But if you do your own research and you find companies that are positioned well, then you can do substantially better than almost any ETF. That being said, it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of monitoring. But anyone can do it. We all have the internet. We all have our computers. Because if you're watching this, you have a way to look up all of this information. So once you've done that, let's move on to the next step. And that would be once you've established a decent sized account and you've been in the workforce, you have built up your credit, what you're going to do is you're going to start looking at real estate. And this can either be a single family home for yourself or a multifamily home, something small within your price range, obviously, that will appreciate over time. You don't want to be going and buying an extravagant house your first time. You're going to buy something small that you can either rent out or resell in 1 to 5 years, or rent out immediately, or hold forever and use that low interest rate that we have right now to get a great 30-year fixed rate interest on a property. It's almost free money at this point because you can get rates under 3%. Anything under 4 is kind of nutty, especially for a 30-year fixed. That will exponentially grow your wealth, especially if you buy a property in the wedge, as Meet Kevin would call it. And I'll link to buying a wedge deal. It's amazing. I did it here. Wasn't a very big wedge yet, but it will be, because I believe this market is going to take off. So once you've got into real estate and you're still investing every month into your brokerage account, if you're able to, if you're not, and you're putting money into the house, you're still investing. You're building equity in a property. Start putting more money into your brokerage account and let that build over time. And be patient with it, because sometimes, like right now, we're in a bear market, at least for the short term. So stay strong. Buy the dips of good companies. Don't just buy the dip to buy the dip. Buy dips on good companies. Don't buy the dip on dying companies, because then you're just burning money. It's not easy to identify these. Cash and cash equivalents. Earnings. PEs. These things will show you if a company will make it through a bear market or a recession. If a company has zero cash and they're 100% in debt, and they have millions, if not billions of dollars in debt, and they go through a recession, and then they stop growing, and there's no money coming in, the company's going to die. Especially if we go into a longer term recession, multi-year. Companies without good equity, they're not going to be around. So invest in good companies. I like US based companies. That's why I love the S&P 500. At least the top like 100 stocks. I know a ton of the ones in the S&P 500 are, say, oil and tobacco companies. I'm not a huge proponent of those. Will they make you money? Yeah, probably. I make money off Facebook. Do I morally believe in Facebook and all their tracking, all that? Not really. But do I think they're going to run me a freaking bag? Yes. Yes, they will. So, once you've gotten to this point, just repeat the process, learn, always be learning, and then look for ways to supplement your income. How can you get more income? How can you get a promotion at your job or start a side hustle? Especially if you have the time and the means to do it. So, if you guys found value out of today's video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe so you can find more of my content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy investing. Peace. Continue to add to those positions and understand that over time they will build and build and build. And who knows? You might get lucky and get a 10x. And that might just push you forward 5 years ahead. You know what's not going to push you 5 years ahead? Your savings account.